So I got the parts back from the machine shop because you can see everything. It's beautiful. Clean, resurfaced nicely. Everything's balanced. Everything's the way it should be. All the pistons have been done. All right? And this is all the old hardware that came out. This is definitely money well spent. That's the best part. Alright, so here we are. I have a food scale that's going to be set to grams. I have my rods and all the stuff that has to go to one assembly. And I have my pistons. Each one of the pistons is within 2 grams of each other. As far as all the rotating assemblies should be close. I don't necessarily have to do this because the machine shop already did this and said it doesn't really matter. But I'm doing it just, you know, because I want to see for myself. And safety glasses, got a couple tools for the snap rings. But essentially what you're going to do is just take the parts, you're going to put them on here. All of these go to one part, minus the rings. You take the rings out and stuff, and you put the rods and the wrist pins and stuff and put them all together here. And then weigh them out, see how much they weigh. Write it on, you can write it here if you want, or just keep track of it. And then you weigh out the pistons and find one that matches here. You're gonna take the heaviest set of rods with the lightest set of pistons, and you just put them together like that, so the balance is as close to even as possible. A little bit of motor oil. Put it here, because a little bit of motor oil. On the bearings, there's a groove. Place the groove into the corresponding groove on the rod, and then just slide it into place. And use your fingers to line up so that it's even. So when you mate them up, they go together. A little bit. Motor oil is a very good assembly lube. And then when you're done, you put it in the engine. So there you go. Line up the groove. Slide it in. Easy peasy. These are cracks, so they can only go in one way. The numbers on the right means the dimple would have been in the front. I don't know why some of them do and some of them don't. It may not even matter which way they go on this engine, but I know on the 4.6, dimples had to face forward, up, and to the right. Yes. This is going to be on the right. This is going to be up. All right, up and to the right. Yep, that's how it goes. Up and to the right. There we go. Oh, look how nice that slides in, nice and lubed up. Don't put it in dry. Lube it up nice. It goes in nice. Very gently. Slide it in just so that's over the groove. Use your finger to hold it in place. Then you use just very, very gently. Now I'm not forcing this thing. Very, very barely using just the tip. Just the tip. Yep. See? And then you look, make sure the clip is all the way in the groove, all the way around. And flip it over. Same deal. Goes in. Push it. Push it in with your finger. we're using a square tip screwdriver. It doesn't scratch. I did have a pick, but they broke. If you have a pick, it's probably good. You just have to be careful of the sharp edge. There we go, it's over the tip. In with no issues. So good. All the way in. No scratches, no issues. Didn't have to force it. Nice. Next step. Now there's a little trick to this. Skirts up. Put the skirt facing up. Put the first oil ring in. If you can see this. First oil ring. Doesn't matter if it's left or right. Put it to one side because you're going to go here and then the middle. The expander ring is going to go in the middle and the top one's going to go to the right. Right? I don't think it really matters which direction they go, as long as they're not all lined up. Right? And the trick to this one that I learned, because these can be a real pain in the neck, is to let this come out a little bit. There we go. Once you get the one side in, the rest of it goes in. All right, now it's all lined up how it should be. Patience. Okay. All right, the middle ring has a groove. The groove faces down. There's a little dot. You can't see with the camera. The dot faces up. All right, so I'm gonna line it up with the wrist pin like this. Goes in, walks around. You hold it so it doesn't scratch. And now, gently lift it over, slide it on in there. Flip it over, do the same thing. Dot faces up. And that's it. It's one completed, see? Not that difficult. Take your time. Make sure all the rings are in. Make sure all your clips are good. Bearings are in the way they should be. Next step's going to be putting it in. Torque sequence goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the same thing. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Gonna kill them, just bringing them in so you don't sit there and turn for 3 hours. I'm not using this to torque them down. Stage 1. See? And even now, like, these bolts are loose. All right, 20 Newton meters. I torque all the bolts to 20 Newton meters first time out. Following torque sequence, this is where it gets important. Do not rush. Carefully do it. On each stage, rotate the crankshaft to make sure that it's still free, that you didn't make a mistake somewhere. That's it. Nothing too complicated. That's it. See, it rotates fine on full rotation, no resistance. I'm going to switch out to a 15 millimeter and do the center, inward and outward. It's important to do it this way and be precise about it because it's an aluminum block. The metal behaves differently than, say, cast iron. These are a lot more particular as far as torque sequences. Stage one complete. Okay. Smooth rotation, no problems. On to the next. We're going to up this to 40 Newton meters. And these are the bolts that are the most important. the big ones, inner, to 65. $65 Newton meters. One through 20 in sequence clockwise an additional 90 degrees. All right, 90 degrees, huh? So good and tasty. The piston is going to go into the hole like that. The arrow is pointing toward the front of the engine. Right? This is important because if you put it backwards, that's not good. Put it this way. Right? I went out and I bought this. And this is, there you go. Piece of junk's going in the garbage. This is a nice tool, pre-sized for the Coyote cylinder bores. And it's actually really nice to put the pistons in. You're gonna line up the journal to be right below the cylinder, right? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna drop this little bad boy right into here. There we go, now it's down, it should go right in. See, right in, no problems with your thumbs. If it doesn't go in, then it means that it's not lined up. But this tool is nice and tapered, so it lines up nicely with the cylinder. And it's nice and, this part makes it sit nice and flush. So once you get it in nice, you saw how easy, one thumb, push it in nice. All right. Arrows are facing the right way. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my cap and I'm gonna put it on. There we go. I've already pre-done all the other rods. I'm going to show you these just so that it's not boring to watch. All right, so set the torque wrench to 20 Newton meters. First step. I'm going to pre-torque it to 20 Newton meters. Go 38 Newton meters. All right, and last step. Take your tool, I'm going to estimate. I don't have a degree wrench, so I'm estimating roughly what it's going to be going up. Roughly, this is just to make sure that it has the appropriate amount of stretch. And that is it. Everything rotates the way it should. Everything's tight. And that, my friends, is one complete short block. Next step, what we're going to do is the heads, oil pump gears, and I'm going to keep going on the build. Right? But for now, that's it.